Welcome. We made it through another week, dominated, and we're here regrouping, regathering, revitalizing, re-energizing, reinvigorating ourselves, each other, our minds, renewing, and so that we can do it again. All right, stay on top, keep on winning. All right, I'm coming straight out the gate like a horse race. We're coming straight out the box today. Straight out the box. All right, can everybody see that?
Self-improvement.
Self-improvement. This is a huge industry. I mean, good Lord, I should have probably looked it up. How many hundreds of millions, if not billions probably, industry. So somebody explained to me, now this is me, right? So think about it before you say, what is either your definition of self-improvement or what is the standard definition of self-improvement? When people say self-improvement, what does that mean? What does it mean to you? What do you take it to mean? What is self-improvement? What is that?
Good morning, Coach Lucky.
Good morning.
I say self-improvement is it's the concept that you are aware of your temperature gauge. You're aware of when things are good, when things are not so good and need improvement, and you're motivated to change. You're motivated to assess and evolve when it's necessary. You yourself are motivated.
So you're saying not self-improvement, you're saying motivation?
Well, your self-improvement is you need to be motivated. You yourself need to be motivated in order to improve.
Okay.
It's a part of if you're not motivated to improve, you won't improve. You'll just stay the same or you'll get worse. But as far as improvement, it's just a decision that you make for yourself to get better, to grow.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. Who else? What is self-improvement, or what does it mean to you?
For me, good morning.
Good morning.
To me, it means, working to be that better person, better for, to be a better version of you. We are who we are, but, we all need improvement somewhere. So working on myself, my own self to be better, to do what I know I can do, what I know I should do.
Okay. Go ahead.
Joel, they put in the chat, working on flaws and issues to become a better me.
Okay. So that's 3. Okay. Anybody else want to say anything?
Learning to be better, learning to be stronger, learning for improvement.
Okay. And what are you for improvement? And what are you improving?
You're improving areas you deem you need more information, you need more knowledge. Often there's outside input, but you believing that you can increase yourself for the better in some way.
Okay. So you're saying any area that you get better or that you change something, I'm saying all of us collectively from what I've heard us say. So we're saying that any area that we get better in, so to speak, that it's self-improvement. Is that what we're saying?
Say that again?
We're saying that, are we saying that, okay, let me pose another question. If you taught your 5-year-old grandchild or your 7-year-old grandchild how to ride a bike, is that self-improvement? Would you be teaching them self-improvement?
I don't think so. I think that's just teaching them a skill. Self-improvement might be learning how to ride the bike better or longer or something like that. But teaching them how to ride a bike is just a skill.
Okay. So that means any change isn't necessarily self-improvement. Because if they didn't know how to do it before you taught them, and that's not self-improvement, even though something changed, then what's the difference between, like you said, learning a skill and self-improvement? If you learned how to do something, so to speak, isn't that an improvement? If we're talking about a change from one thing to another, or from not being able to being able to, is that self-improvement? Or what's the difference between self-improvement and learning a skill? Like, what is the difference? I'm not talking just to you, I'm talking to everyone.
I feel like any level of growth of an individual is self-improvement.
Okay. So then let me ask another question. When we say self-improvement, what self are we talking about?
Our higher self.
Okay. So Vanessa, go to that link. The second one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, share. Okay, everybody take a look at this. All right. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, read that.
Jesus looked at them and said, with man, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible.
So man, in this case, equaled what?
The flesh.
Yeah, and with the man or the flesh, it equaled what? What did it say? With the man or the flesh, it is
Impossible.
impossible. M means to separate, to detach from possibility. That's actually what that means. It's two words joined together. It's two things joined together. M means to separate from possibility in this case, right? Okay, but with God, what does it say?
All things are possible.
So all things. So with one, it's impossible. That means there's no possibility. There's no possibility. When you said, Sparkle Bailey, I believe that was you, you said with the flesh. You said with the flesh, there's no possibility. That's what it's saying here. It's saying with God, with I am, all things are possible. So you either, with the flesh in your body, you have no possibility, and with your consciousness, all things are possible. Now, who said this? Who said that?
Jesus.
Okay, what does that character represent?
Both the body and the spirit, or the higher self and the physical.
Yes, in that is exactly right. But and with the understanding of what?
That I'm just like you, you're just like me. We can do this. Like, if I can do it, I'm showing you the way. You have the same access.
So we are just alike in possibility and opportunity, but not in performance. The performance is a choice based on your level of awareness. So what Jesus represents is the flesh human realizing that it is one with the God self, with I am, with consciousness. It realizes it's one. It's not separate. It's not two separate things. So it's not going outside looking for something. It's not trying to believe it's something. It knows who it is, even if it's housed in what we call man, humanity, mankind. So, and in this book, it says, let this mind that's in that character be in you. Think like that person. So that person said, with I am, with your consciousness, all things are possible. If you're just relying on your human mind, if you're just relying on your flesh, if you're just relying on grinding and hustling and things like that, it's not possible. You are separated from possibility, because that's not how things actually happen. It's not how things actually work, right? So what self of you are you actually improving? Because if all things are possible, right, to your consciousness, how could all things be possible if you had to improve? Whatever you had to improve, you could not be possible to you. It wouldn't be possible, right? All things are possible when, right? It's talking about now. It didn't say all things will be possible. It says all things are possible. Like you are here right now, not you will be, not you have been, you are here right now. All things are, all things are, all things are. That means whatever you desire is possible to you now. All things are. But to who? To I am, to your consciousness, not to your flesh man. It's not. So that when you're self-improving, what part of yourself are you improving?
Your highest self.
But if you're improving your higher self, then all things are not possible until you improve. So it would have to be a future tense. It couldn't be possible right now. That's not true. That's like Les telling her granddaughter, you know what? All things are possible. Go out there and start this Cadillac. It wouldn't work because right now it's not possible for her to do that. It's not. It will be, but it's not now. So to say all things are possible, that means it has to be right now. If it's possible right now, then there can't be any room for improvement because whatever room you need, that thing could not be possible until you did it. So you actually don't have that ability. So it couldn't be possible now. So then again, what part of yourself are you improving? Can't be your higher self, because that's where everything's possible.
You're improving your I am to be. I am to be is what I'm improving of myself.
So are you talking about, okay, but what does that mean? Like I am to be, who are you talking about? Because
my conscious self?
Say it again.
Is that my conscious self? You know, that ego part of me?
So which part of that is you? So then what part of that, what part, what you just referred to, what you just said, what is that attached to?
That thought life, that what you're thinking of you. I don't know how to put it in words, but it's that consciousness that you see when you think about you, not who you are daily, but that part that you have power over. You're saying your decision making.
Okay. So there's two selves that we're talking about here. We're talking about your I am self and your flesh man self. So your I am self, right, is what people will call God. That's what people call it. But that's just, doesn't matter what you call it. That is one self. That's the big S, your self, the true you inside, not the name that you have. The name that you have is your lower self, is your S self. That is your human flesh man self. That's what you are believing yourself to be based on your name. Like my name is Ronette. My name is Jolie. My name is Gavin. My name is Leslie. My name is, that is your human man flesh self. The self of you is your consciousness, your God, your I am self. I am. That part of you, all things are possible to that part of you. That part of you doesn't need any improvement. Otherwise, all things couldn't be possible. The lower part of yourself, when you're talking about improvement, but nothing's possible to that part. That's why it says it's impossible. This part of yourself is separated from that possibility. So then what actually are we talking about then? Well, I'll say it to you. I'll submit it to you this way. Self-improvement is an oxymoron and a fallacy. It's not actually what you're doing. It's not actually something you can do. The higher self of you is perfect. That's why all things are possible. Everything's available. Because we talk about choices. thought life. So we can pick anything. That's why all things are possible. It doesn't need improvement. Everything is already available. Our lower self that we are trying to, like we said, if we have a desire or something we want to be, we're separated. That's why it's a desire, because we don't have it. But it's a desire because we want it. So that desire is nothing but a mechanism, a triggering switch to go shopping, so to speak, to now go back up into your consciousness and select something that you want to experience from the inside to express on the outside. So what we're saying here now is that this lower self, right, the name of us, right, who we are identifying as, so to speak, right, is I have a well, no, I'll say that. So your lower self, it's not possible to do it that way. And your higher self doesn't need that. What we're actually doing is we are, instead of actually improving, we're actually increasing our self-realization, realizing who we are, and our awareness. We're increasing our awareness. We're realizing that, hey, like when a 5-year-old is walking down the grocery store and they're looking around, they're like, wow, right? But as we become adults, that grocery store looks smaller. It's not as big. It's not as overwhelming. It's not, because we've matured in mind. Our consciousness has expanded. Our awareness has expanded. Our realization has expanded. So we now know what we're looking at. We now know that we're here to pick. We're here to select. We're not here to improve anything. How many times do you take something off the shelf and you say, you know what, I'm going to take this home and improve it? Why buy it? Why don't you buy what you want from the beginning? Why are you taking something and trying to improve it? Why don't you just buy the thing that's actually the outcome of what you'd be spending your money and labor on trying to create? Just buy the thing that's already created. Spend a little money, spend a little more, or go somewhere different and get what you want. If you buy vanilla ice cream,
We're back.
All right.
No audio from you.
Now you can.
can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Sorry, guys. That was me.
If you buy vanilla ice cream, that's it. That was
Okay.
that was the drop.
Oh man, thank you for picking up. Okay, so if you buy vanilla ice cream, it's like I go to the store and I want chocolate. They ran out of chocolate. I'm gonna go buy vanilla ice cream. Who buys vanilla ice cream and now you're gonna improve it? It's vanilla. It is what it is. Now you can, I guess, try to add something to it, put a little chocolate sauce on it, make it work. But your improving doesn't actually change it to what it is. It's not, you selected what it is what it is, right? So chocolate is what it is because it's chocolate through and through, not just with some vanilla with some chocolate on the top. It's chocolate through and through, right? So buying one thing, trying to improve it, that's not actually what we would do with anything. So what I'm saying to you is self-improvement is actually an oxymoron. It's a fallacy. You can't improve the big self of you because the big self of you is already perfect. That's the point. The reason we believe something is wrong with us because we believe we are the little self and not our true self. We believe we are our name, not actually who we are that gave us our name. We believe we are what we see on the outside, not what we see, not who's actually running the show from the inside. Who we really are, right, is perfect. Who we really are is perfect. What we're in, as far as a name and a body and all these things, is imperfect, so to speak, because of it being outside. It's limited. It's a human body, but we are perfect from the inside, operating it out. Our freedom in this human world is the ability to choose, to shop. What do we want our higher self, the perfect self, where all things are possible? What do we want that to express? That is actually our freedom. It's the ability to choose. So when I say I am, that's actually a declaration of decreeance. I'm telling I am what I want to physically experience. I'm saying this is what I want to experience. So when you say, Les, like you said earlier, I'm an idiot, you're giving your consciousness where all things are possible. It will make that happen. It will make something happen to prove to you that what you're saying is true. To say, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Here we go. And so then physical circumstances are then presented to us have the physical, for us to have the physical expression of that consciousness. Right? We're not talking about semantics or moments of, but we do have to be mindful of what we say, because we're not the human we think we are. We are the gods we forgot we are. And so what we say means something. We are made in the image and likeness of I am. I am created the earth. I am said, let there be light. I am said, I am said, I am said, and whatever I am said becomes so. That's who we really are. So when we just run our mouth wildly, slippery, and not paying attention, it's because we forget who we are. You know, a lot of times, especially if we grow up, some of us do, some of us don't, but if we grow up cursing and then we have a child or a little one around us, we have to be very mindful of what we say because we know they repeat it. Right? Yeah. So, but in that moment, we become mindful of who we are and what we say, because we realize this little child is literal. And so when we say, oh, they say, yeah, oh, and you're like, oh, right? Because they don't know, they're literal. They don't know that that's a bad word. They don't know that that's not an appropriate word for their age, especially. They don't know that. So we know we have to be mindful of what we say. We become more self-aware. We become more self-conscious, right? But we need to make sure that we are self-aware and self-conscious when we are in our perception of ourselves, because that determines our perspective. So when we talk about self-improvement, that's not actually what's happening. What we're actually doing is increasing our awareness. And what we're actually doing is realizing like, oh, okay, this is actually what I want to happen. Self-improvement, if we can't improve the true self and the little self, it is not possible to do that. Do you know what self-improvement actually is? Self-improvement is like if it's raining outside and you put a jacket on to stop the rain. You can put a jacket on to deal with it, but you're not changing the weather. It's impossible. You're not changing your circumstances. You're just trying to find a better way to deal with it. You're not changing it, right? The self of you is the creator and changer. Who you really are is the creator and changer. What you think you are when you look in the mirror and bathe and clothe and feed that body, what you think you are, that you gave it a name, that is the little you that is separated from actually being able to change or create anything. All you can do is choose what it is you're going to express. Choose what it is, what experience you want. But the power to make that experience a reality is not in the physical you. The physical you gets to choose what experience you have by what you say about I am, how you condition it, what you say about it, what you say to it. You're not improving yourself. What you're actually doing is you're selecting a different version that's already perfect. Everything is already perfect. Everything is for everything. Stupid is for those, dumb is for those, meaning whatever concept I have of myself, there's a state that I can occupy that will express that physically. It's not good or bad. It's not California's good, Texas is bad, Chicago's good, Florida's bad. They're all states where people can live. And the more they are physically lined up with what they think about themselves, the more they're going to enjoy where they live. Right? Whether something's too fast, too slow, too hot, too cold. I like all seasons. I only like one season. I like whatever else it is. Right? The more you can match that up, the more enjoyable your life is going to feel or be. Right? It's not self-improvement. The self of you is already perfect. The physical part of you whose experience wants to change or that you want to change can now go to yourself that is perfect and say, I want to be this. All things, anything that you could want to be is possible. And how do you make that a possibility? By saying, okay, I am now assuming myself, I am choosing this mustard off the shelf. I'm just choosing it. I'm choosing now to be this. I'm choosing now to no longer be that. It's not improvement. It is simply changing your level of awareness, changing your thought about what it is you want or don't want. It's not about improving yourself. The self of you is perfect. And so it's able to give you anything you want in physical expression, right? And so you as the physical, all of our names, go to ourself and say, this is what I want to be. Because the self of you is perfect. It has everything that you could ever want. It has everything available to you. So you go shopping in there and say, I want this. I don't want this. And then I'm going to take it home as mustard, but I'm going to take it home. And if I just work on it, I'm going to make it some mayonnaise. It's not about improving it. It's about selecting what you want from the beginning. It's not about working with it, trying to work it out, trying to grind it out. That's what mankind does, because it's actually separated it's separated from possibility. So it will work itself to death trying to make something possible that's impossible. That's why we have to work so hard when we go that way. Hard work, meaning effort, putting effort into something is not the same thing as hard work. It's not the same thing. It doesn't even yield the same results necessarily. There's a lot of people working hard and sweating and not making any money or not any good at it, like a 5-year-old at the Y playing basketball. Nobody thinks they're watching Steph Curry, Kevin Garnett, or anybody else at a 5-year-old basketball game. But they're sweating, they're working hard, right? Just physical labor, physical doing is not the answer, because all physical labor and physical doing is a reflection first of your awareness of being. All physical action is first predicated by thought. And the thought that you have is the outcome that your labor is going to produce. But it's not even producing it, it's really just assembling it. It's just executing the plan, the idea. Right? There is no such thing as self-improvement. That's an oxymoron. You can't improve yourself, the self of you, which people call God. You can call it whatever you want. God, the universe, the cosmos, Billie Jean King, Michael Jackson, you can call it whatever you want. It works the same. It doesn't matter what you call it. Call it whatever makes it work for you. Realizing that you are and you have the power that all things in you are possible. Your consciousness to your true self, I am, you can attach anything to it. Murderer, priest, father, mother, wealthy, healthy, sad, depressed, sick. You can attach all things are possible to it. It can do anything. So you, as the physical you, the one that you're looking at in the mirror, have to decide what you are going to task your consciousness with by saying, I am something. And I don't mean just the words. I don't even mean the words. I'm just using the words to consciously make you aware of how it happens. I don't mean the words. You don't have to come up with a special phrase or a special slogan. What is your intent? What do you want to see or be or do or have? That's what I mean when I say I am and you attach something to it. I don't mean you have to sit there and say, I am. No, I don't mean that. But I mean the awareness of that. What are you making yourself aware of? It is self-realization, self-awareness. So when you're teaching that kid how to ride a bike, no, it's not self-improvement. You're introducing a concept to them that will increase their level of awareness. They become aware of this thing. But think about it. How could they ever do it if they didn't have the skill in them already to do it? You're just providing an opportunity. You're providing access for them to now be able to express what's already inside. They already have the ability. They just don't have the awareness. They don't know there's a bicycle. A 1-year-old doesn't know there's a bicycle. 1-year-old doesn't know that you can drive a car because they're not aware of that. They don't have the realization of that. So when you're teaching someone how to do something, what you're really doing is providing a realization, access to awareness, that therefore on the inside, it turns something on and says, oh, I can do that. You keep giving them access to something that they learn how to apply that which is already within to that thing that's without. You're not improving them. They already had the ability. You didn't improve it. You just gave them access for them to apply it. Right? It's not about improving yourself. It's about choosing which self you want to be. It's not about improving mustard. It's about buying mustard or buying what you really want. Don't buy mustard and try to make it mayonnaise. Don't buy vanilla ice cream and try to make it chocolate. It's not. It's not designed to be. It's not supposed to be. You can't say, I am stupid, and then wonder why you're not smart. You can't say, I am poor, and wonder why you're not rich. You can't take something that you don't want and try to make it something you do want. That's not the way it works consciously. And your consciousness is your reality. What you are believing yourself to be, proclaiming yourself to be, not just verbally, but just knowing who you are. When you just have a concept of yourself, that is what you're actually physically expressing. That is what your world is mirroring. And to try to work it out is impossible. You are separated from that possibility physically because your physicality is only executing your mentality. And your mentality is always first. You cannot do before you think. It's not possible. No matter how I just reacted. Yeah, but you reacted based on even your reaction is an intelligence. It's based on thoughts that you've had so long that you didn't even have to think it consciously, but you reacted based on that thought because you thought it so long. Like your name. What's your name? Gavin. If you know your name is Gavin, that's all you know. It doesn't take that long because you can just respond. It's all you know, right? So when we react or we respond, it's because of what's already within coming without. We don't have to sit there consciously and think about it all day. We just know ourselves to be that thing, right? So what I'm saying to you is that the reason we struggle so much is because we believe we have to improve ourselves. We believe we have to improve something because we think that the thing we see in the mirror is not good enough or we want something different. That's fine to want something different, but that's not improvement. That is actually just changing and saying, I have a realization of I want to be this now. I have an awareness of I can choose this now. I'm not improving this thing. I'm choosing for this thing to be something different now. I want it to be this, or I want it to be that, or I don't want it to be this. I don't want it to be that. There's nothing the self of you does not need to improve. It has everything possible for you to physically express that which you choose. If you choose to improve, so to speak, you'll be in a constant state of it. And guess what? You'll have a lot of opportunities to improve. You'll be able to improve your health when it goes bad. You'll be able to improve your money when it's not as good. You'll be able to improve your relationships when it goes downhill. You'll be able to, instead of saying, this is what I am, I now want to go to that. I don't need to improve that. I'm going to leave it. How many people turn the TV on and watch something and they don't like it, and then they sit there and watch it and keep watching it and say, I'm going to improve it? How are you going to improve a channel that has something on you don't want to watch? How many people do that?
Nobody.
Right? Don't you just change the channel? Does anybody do TV improvement? Anybody do that? Right? You can't. It's not about improving. It's about changing it. Realizing that you have all the things in you. Everything is possible. You don't need to improve that thing. If it's not what you want, let it go. Choose something different. You're wasting your time improving things when that's not necessary or even the highest level of thought. It's not the highest level of thought, right? The highest level of thought is, oh, I turn the TV on. Oh, I don't want to watch that. You get the remote and change it. You don't go through no praying, affirmations. You don't go through anything. You just where's the remote? You're looking for the change. You're looking for the change agent. When the TV comes on, when you have a consciousness and it's on and what you're looking at you don't like, get the remote. It means go into your mind and say, I now am changing. I'm choosing it to this. I'm not going to sit here and look at this TV and hope this show turns good, turns into something funny. If it were that already, I'd like it in the beginning. There's nothing about you. When I say you, I don't mean what you're looking at. I mean what's inside of you that's making alive what you're looking at. The you, the true you that's inside does not need improvement. Otherwise, all things couldn't be possible to it. Because whatever it needs to improve, you couldn't get, or you couldn't be, you couldn't do, or you couldn't have. It's already perfect. The true you is already perfect. But because you don't know that, or you believe that you're not, you believe you are what you're looking at in the mirror, then yeah, that needs to be improved. You need to brush your teeth. You need to comb your hair. You need to make a whole lot of changes. But that's not, you're not combing the true self's hair. You're not brushing the true self's teeth. You're not doing that. You're not improving anything. You are just choosing one thing or another at the highest level of thought. In mind, you always have to improve because possible is M. You are separated from possible, so you're always going to be trying to work it out. You're always going uphill. It never ends. You never win or stay winning because you're always fighting something. You're always believing there's competition. You're believing there's opposition. You're believing there's haters. You're believing all these things. 1,000 different things can stop you because you don't realize you're enough on your own. And you've always been and you'll always be, but not if you don't know it. Not if Vanilla is enough of its own. Somebody likes that. Just because you don't doesn't mean it gets thrown away. It's there for the people who want it. Chocolate is there for you who wants it. Stop taking vanilla, trying to make it chocolate, or vice versa. Stop looking at a TV screen. Stop looking at something in your consciousness you don't want, and think if you just pray enough times, it'll change. No, change it. Turn the channel. Change your thought about, I want this now. Turn the channel. The remote is your consciousness. All things are possible to that remote. That's why you got one. All things are possible to your consciousness. It holds all the channels. All the channels are already on the TV. All the radio stations are already there, right? You just have to tweak it and turn it to the one that plays the song you like, or the station that you like, or the channel that you like. It's not about selecting something that you don't want or staying with something that you don't like and trying to make it better. That is a thought. That's not the highest form of thought. It was dark. In that book, the character didn't say, well, maybe I can get a little dusk. Maybe I can get a little sunrise. Let me just get a little something. Or didn't stay in the dark and say, well, one day, God willing, light will turn on. There'll be maybe something. Well, you know what? It's dark. Well, you know what? God will never put more on you than you can bear. It's dark. I can't bear it. I can't see. Turn the light on. Right? So it's the same thing. That character said, let there be. You have the ability within you to say, let there be. I don't want this anymore. I want that. I don't have to struggle for it, go through this to do it. I don't have to have a vote. It's not a democracy. It's not everybody else's opinion. I'm on this and I want that. I'm not trying to make this better. I'm trying to go to what's already better. The earth is finished. Creation is finished. Everything already exists. Whatever you want to be already exists. Just choose what already exists and let go of what you have that doesn't exist the way you want it. It's not working. It's not designed to work. It's only designed to be what it is. That's why a lot of you, if you've heard me say, when people say limiting beliefs, I don't subscribe to that. I don't think that's a factually said statement. There are no limiting beliefs. There are beliefs. But when people call limiting beliefs are a belief that doesn't allow you to express yourself at the way you want to. So if you wear a size 10, that's not a limiting shoe unless you wear a size 12. It's not limiting. It's just not big enough for your foot. You have a belief that's not big enough for your dream or your desire. Change it. Nobody's sitting there talking about, well, this is a limiting shoe. They'd be like, well, what size you wear? 12. Well, what size is that? It's a 10. They would be like, take that off. Somebody else wears a 10. Leave those at the store. Somebody else, it's a perfect belief. To somebody who wears an 8, the belief is too big. The shoe itself, the belief itself is not limiting. It's only limiting according to what it is you desire to express. So that means you have to choose your beliefs just like you choose your shoe size. It's not rocket science. But we've been made to think it is. We've been made to think we got to burn candles and wear beads and we got to tie, and then we got to dress up. We got to put a fancy hat on and we got to sit there for 3 hours and we got to do this or do that, or we don't. You don't do that when you change the remote, change the channel with the remote. You don't do that when you pick up a size shoe. The first thing you do is look at the size. When you have a thought in your mind, the first thing you should do is look at the size. Is this thought going to actually be something I can put my foot into or put my life into? Is this something I actually want to give life to? Because if I put this shoe on and I bought it, right? You break it, you buy it, right? Or you come in and you want to return it. It's going to cost you a lot of times, whether it's in time or in money, when you could have just made the right decision before you left. Don't pick up a thought that's not going to allow you. Don't accept a belief that's not going to allow you to express yourself completely. I wear a 12. Well, these 11 and a halves will do. No, they won't do. Otherwise, you don't wear a 12. They won't do. It's not about making do. That's what humans do because it's impossible to do it that way. But with our consciousness, with I am, all things are possible. I am buys the 12s. Humanity buys the 11 and a halves. And you know what, girl, I got this thing at the house where you can stretch your shoes out. And so, right, or you got people out there pulling one side and you pull the other, you know, I don't put this thing on there to loosen up the leather. And then you'd be spending 2 days trying it when you could have just bought a 12. Right? So what I'm saying to you is when I say it's an oxymoron, it means that the self of you can't improve. And it's already perfect. Otherwise, all things wouldn't be possible to it. We can have multiple experiences. We can constantly experience things, but the improvement thing is not what it is. What we call improvement is for what we call our physical self, right? But it just doesn't mean actually improvement. It actually means just changing what you're aware of. You improve when you pick mustard and you want mustard. You improve when you pick mayonnaise and you want mayonnaise. You're improving your understanding of what to pick. You're not improving what you picked. You never are smart enough. You're never successful enough to pick mustard and it tastes like mayonnaise. You're never going to make it. You're never going to arrive. I don't give you a billionaire or a brokenaire. It doesn't matter. Right? It's just, you're never going to make enough. Pick mustard if you want mustard. Pick mayonnaise if you want mayonnaise. Pick a thought and a belief that is going to actually physically reflect, once you step into it, what it is you want to be. Period. That's not self-improvement. Oh yeah, it will feel like an improvement. It is. It'll feel better, but it's not actually self-improvement. It's realizing that you already are and have the ability to be anything that you want to choose and choosing correctly. It's just the maturation of your mind. It is the expansion, your realization. You start to realize and become aware of a truth. Mustard is mustard. You start to be aware of that, and it's never going to change. Mayonnaise is mayonnaise. Ketchup is ketchup. You start to be aware of what is. Choose what is so I can be what I want. I can be that thing. I can have that experience. Does that make sense to everybody? You are perfect as you are, the real you, not the body, not humanity. But inside, that makes the body, that makes humanity. You are perfect. Humanity, your human, what you call your human self, needs to now have a conversation with that perfect part of you and say, I now want to be. And I know you have everything. So I now am choosing in my physical experience, I want to have this. I want to be this. I'm choosing to no longer be that. I and my consciousness, human, man and God are one. That's what Jesus represented. The awareness, that character represented the awareness of I, the physical body, and my consciousness are one. So whatever the I of the physical body am telling my consciousness I want to be, whatever I tell it, all things are possible. I am now going to have that experience. That's why I said, whatever I do, you can do also. It's not me. He said, it's not me that does the work. It's my consciousness in me. Whatever I'm conditioning my consciousness to be. Does that make sense? Does anybody have anything they want to say on that before I move forward? I'm going to dovetail into something else.
Definitely makes sense. Definitely.
Okay. Okay. Vanessa, please pull up the second.
The first one or the second?
First one, the other one, not the one that you. All right. Here we go. So now we talk about, okay, forget self-improvement. Now self-realization, self-awareness. We start to realize we can pick. Okay, let's figure out how to do that. All right, so let's see here. My main man, Gavin. Yes, sir. Here we go. Can you read this for me, please?
Yes, sir. And do not be confirmed in this world, but be transformed by renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is good and acceptable, and will be perfect with God.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And if you notice one word in there, perfect. That's who you are, is actually perfect. The true you is perfect, like I said last time. So now watch this. So it says, be not conformed. What does conformed mean? To conform, what does that mean?
To just give in to what's around you, like whatever is influential, just give in.
So it's telling you what?
Don't become like what's around you.
Do not become what's around. It's telling you don't do that first. Don't do that. Here on Saturn. Say it again.
Letting other people shape you.
Correct. right? Especially as a young person, that's hard to do because you don't know. And that's where a lot of us get our beliefs and quote unquote bad habits and quote unquote negative thinking, because we have conformed, right? We've accepted something in our ignorance, in our lower state of mind before we knew, right? That's why parenting is so important, because you're talking to a person who essentially can't defend themselves yet, right? So it's telling you, do not be like what's around, like everyone else around. Then it says, but be transformed. What does transformed mean?
Changed.
Change, but change. It's telling you to change. Did it say improve?
No.
Like, literally, it doesn't say improve. It says change. But change. Don't be like what's around you, but change. By doing what? Renewing. What does to renew mean?
Start over
Start over.
or refresh.
Or
Refresh.
refresh. Fresh means beginning. New means new. Means to go back and do that again. To go back to the beginning. Is it because your beginning, your genesis, your gene, your gender, those words in the beginning are telling you, they're talking about the beginning of something. The gene is the beginning of you. Your genes are your beginning. Genesis is the beginning. Your gender is not what people have made it to be. It's talking about the beginning, where you came from, right? It's saying refresh, start over, renew, because you are perfect. You have all, you're perfect, which means all things are possible, available, doable, achievable. What does it say? So you could prove what is that good and acceptable. Acceptable. Your desires are acceptable. They are doable, they're available, they're possible. They are, what does it say? Provable. That's why I say at the end, every Saturday, make sure you go out and live this, to apply it. Just coming here every weekend doesn't do anything if you're not going to apply it. That's the only way you'll ever be able to prove it. You'll never experience what we're talking about if you don't apply it. You'll never be able to prove it, or approve it. You'll never be able to do that. Never. You have to apply it, right? So it's saying, don't be like everyone else around you. Can't listen to everybody. You can't take everybody's opinion. You can't take everybody's, well, you got to keep it real. Or you can't take, oh man, you've never been that before. You can't be it now. Or you can't conform. You can't think like everyone else, because most people don't know how to think. They only know what to think, and they don't even know where they got that information from. Half the time they've had it so long. They don't analyze it. They don't actually look at it and do anything with it. They just take it in. Don't be like that, but change. Right? Change what? What do you have to change?
Your mind.
Your mind. And what is your mind?
Your consciousness, your awareness.
Yes. Change your consciousness, your set of thoughts, feelings, and beliefs about you, your world, how you go, how you are, how your world goes, your conception of yourself. Change it, not improve it. Renew it, refresh it, start over. Everybody else got a whole bunch of spoiled groceries and they're going to try to make them good. I mean, they have these thoughts that are not good they've had for so long, and they're just going to try to make them work. Why do you think everybody's sick and miserable and upset and angry and bad health and bad relationships and no money and no this? Or they're detached from their desires. Why do you think it's impossible? It's impossible. You're separate. M means to separate. Like I said, you're separated from possibility with that mind. With a conformed mind, you are separated from possibility. If you want all things to be possible, you're going to have to change your mind. You're going to have to start over and refresh your mind. And because then you can prove that you are perfect. That you are perfect. Not the you see on the outside, the you that's on the inside that's making what you see on the outside. Stand up, sit down, blink, digest, sleep, snore, walk, talk, whatever it is. Yes.
Monique put like, I changed the shoe size. Got it.
Yes. You don't.
Marco Bailey said detached from your desires. Ooh-wee.
Yes. You don't buy an 11.5 and try to make it work.
Gavin wears a 12, size 12, by the way.
Hey man, that's it. That's it. Right? So then you don't buy an 11.5. It's not going to work out. Doesn't matter if they're on sale. Doesn't matter if somebody gave them to you free. There's nothing you can do with that. Doesn't matter who gave you the idea, how much they love you, how much you love them. It doesn't matter if it's on sale or if it's free. It's not going to work if that's not what you want. Right?
It's uncomfortable.
Say it again.
It's uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable. What do you think diabetes is? What do you think high blood pressure is? What do you think stress is? What do you think worry is? You're looking at people in the world. If you just go down the street, you're looking at a whole lot of people uncomfortable. And then people try to do things to get comfortable with their discomfort. So then they drink as much as they can, smoke as much as they can, watch as much TV as they can. They do every distracting thing. Sigmund Freud said, life is often too hard for us. So we resort to palliative measures. Palliative means comfort-inducing or comfort-causing measures. Drugs, alcohol, and entertainment. We distract ourselves with every mind-numbing, mind-bending, mind-altering thing we can. Because that's really where grief and stress and worry is. It's expressed in the body, but it's in the mind. Because the mind always has to have an outlet. Just like your car has an outlet, like a tailpipe, just like your dryer has a vent to let the heat out, like your chimney has a thing to let the heat out of the fireplace. It has to have an expression, it has to have somewhere to go. You are looking at, Gavin, to your point, you're looking at a lot of people who are uncomfortable in the world. You can tell by the way they act. Put your best foot forward and the shoe and your foot in that shoe is too small. How's that your best foot?
That best foot's going backwards.
Exactly. Why do you think most people are going backwards? Why do you think people fighting over everything? Constantly uncomfortable, constantly unhealthy, constantly unhappy, constantly unsuccessful. Because they have a belief system, a self-identity, a self-perspective, and therefore an external perception that is not conducive, not congruent to their desired expression. They're uncomfortable constantly. But it's because they're conformed. You got to be scared of something. Everybody's scared of something. You got to just keep it real. You know what? You can't get something for nothing. You know what? You got to work for what you got. You know what? If you black, you got to work 3 times harder. And all the stuff we hear. And people mean well. That don't mean they know what they're talking about, but they mean well. But you got to separate it. You have to separate the two. It doesn't mean they don't love you. It doesn't mean they don't mean well. It just means they're a person just like you and they don't know everything, just like you don't know everything. And just because you're older doesn't mean you know everything until or unless you do. Do you have something you want to say?
Oh, yeah. Leslie put in the chat, don't forget food, another way to distract the mind.
Yes. Yes. It's legal. It's legal just like cigarettes, just like alcohol. But if you ever looked at cigarettes were banned at one point. Alcohol was banned at one point. Legal marijuana was banned at one point. There's a whole lot of things that are legal now that were banned once. So how come they're legal now? Did they change? Is alcohol different now? Is it different? Does it do something different all of a sudden?
They know how to make money off of it.
So the point is that what people say is good or bad isn't even necessarily good or bad, because the same thing is good 2 years ago and now it's bad today, or vice versa. Right? So I'm just saying that to say, and yes, that's true. Most people won't even take U.S. food in other countries. They'll take our money though, but they will not. You go to Europe, you go to South America, you go to Central America, food tastes so different, ice cream tastes so different, everything tastes so different. You're like, good Lord, you can't believe how different it tastes. Can't believe it. Right. You cannot believe it, right? Same thing, completely different taste. Right? Stuff like that. So saying that to say, so now, everybody understand that so far?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So, who does computers here?
What do you mean by?
I do have done.
Like Gavin? No, I'm saving you for something else.
Okay.
Computers, like like who's really good? Who does like coding, or who does like builds websites? Not you, Ron, but somebody like who does like that type of stuff.
I've done coding. I've
Okay.
done it.
So watch this. So watch this. Gavin, you're next. Pay attention. Les, you're up now. Finish this sentence or finish this phrase. Computer.
Computer.
What? If somebody says, I am a computer.
Well, you could be a computer operator, a computer coder, a computer programmer.
There you go. What was the last word you
Developer.
said?
Programmer.
What did you say, Leslie?
Programmer.
Program. Gavin, finish this one. At the beginning, before you start your season, usually in the off season, right?
Yes, sir.
We all go through, because I was an athlete just like you are. We all preseason, we all go through what? Strength and
Conditioning.
conditioning. Let's see here. Who is
Y'all, strength and conditioning is nothing to play with.
not all? All right. Let's see. Who else do I want to call on? Monique.
How did I know that?
Yo, yeah, I'm coming. It's been too long. I can't let you forget about it. Right? In the book we just read, right? It says, be you transformed by what?
The renewing of your mind.
Renewing. Look at these words. Programmer. So let's just say programming. Conditioning, renewing. What do all these have in common? What do all of these do?
Train.
They train.
Affect the mind.
They train. They affect.
Develop.
For make change.
Yeah, okay, let's just say, we'll say that.
I want to say make new.
Okay. All right. So they train, affect, develop, they change,
Control.
control, create. Okay. Programming, conditioning, renewing. When do you do these things?
Every day.
Well, think about it, but think of the sequence. If you're programming something, when do you have to do that?
In the beginning?
When you're conditioning something, Gavin, is that before or after the season?
It's before, but y'all do it throughout, but it's mostly before.
Yes, correct. Both are correct. Yes. Renewing. What does it say you have? When does it say you have to do that?
After.
Okay.
Say it again.
We got a train to go. I'm on a training now.
But renewing, you have to renew your mind if you want something new. So you have to do it before you get something new, before you get something else.
These are all beginnings.
These are all beginnings. These are all beginnings. Right?
Love you, bro.
Right? These are all beginnings, right? So then when we're talking about renewing, conditioning, and all those things, we program, we condition, and renew to do what? What do we get for that?
To create an outcome.
To create an outcome. Is that religious?
No.
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 Is it luck?
No.
Is it like winning the lottery?
No.
Not at all.
Is it personal?
No.
Is it
No.
emotional?
No.
No.
No. So then what is it?
Intentional.
Yes, intentional. And and a word for intentional, what's a good word for that? If like look at they're all different, but they all do the same thing. So what does it make it?
Transformational.
What does it make it?
Power. Power.
Necessary.
Directions.
Okay. Necessary. Okay.
Purpose.
Directions.
Purpose. Direct. Okay. It makes it a
No.
law. It's a law. It's a law. You have to do all these things before you get something. How do you know it's a law? Because you all do it. How do you know it's a law? Because you all understand that if I want to create this website, the website is going to look just like my what? Programming. Gavin, when you go to baseball and a dude is 30 pounds overweight and you saw him 6 months ago and you know he's been eating fries and hot dogs and everything else, you know he has not been doing what?
Conditioning.
Conditioning.
But look, even though he's big, he's gonna be hitting absolute bombs dead center.
Well, he
Call
better
him
make
Big
sure it
Toby.
goes over the fence because he's not going to be able to run.
I'm just saying, it's a singing baseball. Feel me?
He
I'm just being
could
honest.
actually have eye issues because he overate starch and now he can't see.
I mean, like I said, it better go over the fence because if he
He
runs
didn't
too
like.
far,
He
his
didn't.
hamstring
He's
gonna go
not
out.
like. Well, look. He's not like overeating. Feel me? He's like, he's just hitting bombs. Feel me? That's the homie.
Right. So right. So and then renewing, right? Before you get a different physical outcome, you have to renew your mind. So it means we all understand, right, that in order to get a different physical outcome or to control or produce an outcome, we have to program, condition, and renew. In different sports, in different computers, we got baseball, we got computers. In this book, they call it renewing. In the book, they call it renewing. In sports, they call it conditioning. In the IT world, they call it programming. In the television world, they call it programming. A television program. Yeah, they're programming you. They are giving you information for predetermined information, but for you to act on after you see it. That's why you have to pay attention to what you're watching. That's why you have to pay attention to what you're listening to. Call it a radio program. They're programming you. This is not a conspiracy. It's just their understanding of a law. And just because you don't know the law, ignorance of the law is no excuse. It's your problem. Right? But you have to do all these things before. You're doing all these things to get a predetermined outcome. Right? You're getting a predetermined outcome. So this is not luck. You all understand it's a law. You understand that if I want to get this outcome, I'm conditioning myself for an outcome. I'm saying if I do this, I know I'm going to get that. Now, what does it say? What do people say? If you ask God for something, then what do they say after that? Well, you can't ask God for something and
Oh, I was gonna say be ready to receive it.
okay. What do people
Not
say?
believe,
And not, yeah, what else do they say?
not have faith.
Okay. What's the big one they say? They don't say that. That's not the biggest one. They say it, but it ain't the biggest one. What do people say?
Receive it.
Nope.
No.
I mean, yes, they do. But what do people say? You
Leave
can't
it
ask God for
alone.
nothing and
Oh, I was going somewhere else.
you can't ask God for nothing and sit around
And do nothing.
and do nothing. People say do nothing, right?
No, faith without works is dead.
Yes. Yeah. But your faith, your works are a result of your faith. Your works don't make your faith. So here's what I mean. If you say, if I said, okay, yeah, you can't, people say you can't sit around and ask God for something and do nothing. What do you think programming is? What do you think conditioning is? What do you think renewing your mind is? Renewing is doing just like conditioning, right? It's the mental version of a computer programmer. It's the mental version of an athlete. And now this is the mental version of your understanding of who you really are. Renewing renewing is an action. Here's what I mean. Give you an example. When you look in your wallet and you see nothing in it, you see nothing in it. When you look at your health, when you look at any area of your life that you don't like, and you now say to yourself, okay, right now I have high blood pressure or my back is hurting really bad. And you say, you know what? I'm now choosing to be I'm now choosing to be healthy. I am perfectly healthy. I'm deciding I'm perfectly healthy. That is a renewing. That is a doing. How many people can have their back hurting and sit there and say, you know what? I'm now deciding I am perfectly healthy, and now keep their mind on that. So that when they stand up and their back, that pain shoots up your back and you say, oh, God, that hurt. But you know what? I'm perfectly healthy. I'm going to keep this thought in my mind. How many people can do that?
Me, it's my
All of
everyday life.
all of us. All of us.
No, how many people do it?
I've done that this
We
week.
all can. How many people can do that? How many people actually do that? Where they look at their wallet and they say, man, there's nothing in here. And you say, you know what? I'm now deciding that I am prosperous and in good health. I'm now deciding that I have all my needs met. How many people can take a thought that is contrary to what they see and hold that thought until they see it?
I do that. I bought movie money from Amazon and I put that in my wallet.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So how many people, when you look at society, how many people do that?
Not enough. That's why self-improvement industry is over $1 billion.
Yes. Well, because most people are trying to figure out a way to feel better about not feeling correct. See, you either are right or you're wrong. You either are perfect or you're not. Perfection means you absolutely are. Imperfection means you're absolutely not. So you can only be one or the other. So when people say you ask God for something and do nothing, you are doing something. You're renewing your mind. You are now saying, I am something and I'm going to continue this thought until what I'm thinking physically expresses itself in my world. Most people can't do that. I know a person right now who wants a lot of money. Do you know what he is? Do you know what he is as a result of wanting a lot of money? He is a police officer. He works for FedEx, and he's a basketball trainer. Now, how you do that in 24 hours? And how long are you going to do that? He's a police officer. So, and he's a police officer in Oakland. Oakland is lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my. There's some people you walk around the streets in Oakland, you're like, oh God, don't make eye contact, keep walking. And he's a police officer there. Wrestling people, he doing everything. Then FedEx, then basketball trainer, all because he wants some money. So what is he using? And what is he using?
His body.
He's using a thing that is impossible. Because it doesn't mean you can't do it, right? But how long are you going to do that? What is that going to do to your health? What is that going to do to your family? What is that going to do to, you're doing this to get something you want because you were going to grind your behind and your back because you were unwilling to renew your mind. You're unwilling to train to take a different thought. So because you're unwilling to think, it is easier for people to get 3 jobs. For years, I worked over 100 hours a week. Doing something similar to this. I had different ones, but doing that because I wanted the bread. I was like, oh yeah, I want this and I want that. But after a while, it was like I had to stop because I had no quality of life. Yeah, I had money, but I had no quality of life. I was always working to get the money. I was happy to have it, but I couldn't even spend any time with it. I was just using it to put it right back in the gas tank, tires right back on the car, get a new car after a while because you're driving so much, going from place to place and thing to thing. Take a little nap in the car here, a little nap in the car there. You don't spend time with yourself.
Yeah.
You don't spend time with yourself.
Right.
Right? But all because he wants a desired outcome that he's not willing to renew his mind about how to get it. But programming, conditioning, renewing, these are what you do constantly, consistently. You renew your mind, you condition your mind. That is what people call affirmations or scripting or whatever else it is. Find a way to condition your mind. Constantly, like Gavin said, at the beginning, we call it strength and conditioning. But throughout the season, you still have to lift weights. You still have to do certain things to keep your body at a certain level to be able to make it throughout the season. That's absolutely true. You don't do it as intensely as you do in the preseason because now you have games, but you do it now. It's more about maintenance. You maintain that thing to the best of your ability. You maintain it to get through the season. Right? You condition your mind, right? Realizing it's a law. So you say to yourself, you know what? I'm wealthy. I always have more than enough. You can say whatever you want to say, but say things, right? Don't improve it, change it. Say things that reflect the change of what you want to be. I'm check to check. How do I improve that? Or always have more than enough. Changed it. I didn't improve that. I changed it.
Yeah.
I changed it. So now I'm going to condition my mind. I realize I'm programming my mind. I'm renewing my mind. I'm programming. I'm putting a thought in. I'm putting code in preemptively at the beginning, initially, because I know whatever I put in, I'm going to get out. So I'm now putting something in. I am putting a new thing, a renewed thought in to get that renewed thought out. Now I'm going to condition my mind. I'm going to condition my mind with that thought. I'm going to condition my mind with that thought, with that renewed programmed thought, because I know the outcome is, I know it's a law. I know I'm going to physically get what I'm doing it. Nobody would do strength and conditioning if nobody got stronger and was able to do something longer. Nobody would program. Programmers wouldn't get paid what they get paid if they actually didn't produce a website. There'd be nobody talking about renewing your mind if it didn't actually renew your outcome. Right? The renewing. So when you say, oh, I can't sit around, you can't sit around and ask God for nothing. Here's the thing. Renewing is the doing. Renewing is the doing. Renewing your mind is the doing. Renewing is the doing. That's the doing. When people say, oh, you can't sit around and ask God for nothing. You asked God for something. You asked your consciousness. You said, I now want to be this. Changing your mind, programming and saying, this is what I want to be. That's the program. Here's my new program, my renewed thought. Now I'm going to condition my mind with that. I'm going to keep that in my mind. I am going to persist. That's and especially in sports, when you talk about conditioning, the first thing they want you to do is persist. Don't quit. Everybody's conditioning is different, but the reason they do it is because they want to strengthen you physically and your endurance.
They want to push you to your breaking point and then give you a pat on the back, tell you good job.
Well, because they want to increase your breaking point. Your breaking point may be 30 seconds when you first show up. A week later, now it's 58 seconds. A week after that, it's 1:02. Right? Because we don't increase without desire, without some kind of trigger. Usually it's need, but desire is just enough. It's the same. We need something to express more than what we have. We already have it in us, but we don't do it or use it until we need to, or until something triggers our desire to. Right? So we condition, we renew our mind, we program a renewed thing. We put in a new code, we're going to get a new thing.
So can we say replacing our negative thoughts with the positive ones?
Replacing the thought that ain't working, replacing the size 11 with the size 12. There ain't the negative or positive about it. It's just a choice.
Right.
But that's important because we make negative and positive emotional. We make it like we gotta, like it's some kind of, it's not. We complicate it.
Yeah.
We complicate it. It's just a thought. A size 11 and a half is good for somebody. It's good for them, too big for some, too small for others. You have to figure out, is this size or is this thought good for you? What you call not good for you, somebody else thinks is good. That's what it's for. It's for them to be able to operate as they think. That size is for the people who it's for. That thought is for the people it's for. There's no good or bad to that. Unless what you feel is not congruent with that. Like I said, you can't have a thought of poverty and think you're going to be wealthy. You're not. You're going to be a police officer, work for FedEx and be a trainer. But after a while, you're going to grind your behind and your spine and your mind out and down. And it's not going to work. All because you're unwilling to renew. But that's why most people will do that. People will get 3 jobs before they renew their mind. People will do anything before they change their mind, because changing your mind is the hardest thing to do. Saying I'm wealthy when you look in your account and it says you're not. Matter of fact, you're negative not. That's the hardest thing to do. Right. Saying I'm healthy when I just walked out of the hospital and they told me they're going to cut my foot off in a month if I don't get this diabetes down or whatever, if I don't get this blood pressure or whatever. Choosing a thought different than your physical present reality is the hardest thing in the world for people to do. People will kill themselves literally trying to work themselves out of something because they won't change their mind. But working the flesh, it's impossible. The person who walked on water and turned water into wine in the story told you it's impossible. But told you, if you think like I do, if you know that I and my Father are one, that your physical expression and your consciousness are one, then you change your consciousness and you change your physical expression. Changing the physical is not going to save you. Oh, it'll make you last a little longer. It'll make you feel a little bit better. Self-improvement make you feel better. It's true. Oh, it makes you feel a little better. Doesn't mean you are better. How many people lose 30 pounds and see them 6 months later and it's right back? How many people do boomerangs, recidivism, whether it's jail, weight, health, money? I'm rich, I'm broke. I'm rich, I'm broke. I'm rich, I'm broke. Like a turnstile, like a little thing at Disneyland. Everybody just going around and around like a little hotel front door. Right? The hardest thing to do is to say that you are something when everything in your physical world says you're not. Says you aren't, says you haven't been, says you can't be, says keep it real, says you ain't never been that. Why now? You've never had any money. You don't have no degree. You never had any money. Why now? You've never been in shape, or you've never been healthy. You've never been. Why now? You can't. Since you've never been, you can't be. The hardest thing to do is to choose something when your whole physical world tells you you can't. When everybody else tells you that you have to do this first. You have to be that first. Well, you can't. Everybody, your whole physical world tells you that's impossible. The hardest thing to do is to say, no, I am this. I choose to be this and I am this, and I don't care what it is. And I choose it, and I'll continue to choose it until that which I have chosen is physically manifested in my world. To be as renewed in your mind as you are conditioned. To be as solid in your mind as you are your programming. Realizing that every button you push, every piece of code you put in has an outcome to it. And if you want to change the outcome, you change the code. You don't punch the screen. You don't sit there and try to color the screen with a marker and say, well, if I color with a marker, maybe it'll look red. You can't change the outside to change your outcome. The outcome is outcome. It's after the income. Your outcome is based on your income. What's in is coming out. Right? It is important for you to understand that. You cannot change the outside before you change the inside. The outside is just a mirror. It's just a reflection of what you're thinking on the inside. The website is just a reflection of the programming. Your body is just a reflection of what's on the inside. People call that food, but it's not the food, it's your mind. Because your mind is telling you what to eat and how it's going to work when you eat it. Your body, your mirror, the world, they're all physical expressions, external expressions of what's going on in you. And if you want to change that, you have to change what's going on in you. If you want to change that. Your renewing is the doing. You can't ask God for something and just sit around and do nothing. Like I said, how many people can choose their mind, change their mind, and keep it changed until they got what they want? When you change your state of mind, all things become possible, right? Whatever you change your mind to is possible. It already exists. That's why you can change your mind to it. If you want to move, the reason you can move is because there's somewhere to move, and where that is already exists. Every desire you have is like a state. It's just a state different than what you're in. So you change your mind, you change your state. You change your state, you experience that which you changed it to. So now change it to the place that you want to experience. You change your shoe size, buy a new shoe size. You're just changing the size of your shoe. That what you want to experience. You're not improving anything. The renewing is the doing, not the police officer, FedEx, and training. It's not the physical that's actually the doing. That's just the execution of your mind. Your mind is where everything is created and or destroyed. Your physical body is just the expression of the plan. Your body doesn't have a plan. Humanity doesn't have a plan. That's why it's impossible. That's why I said with man, it's impossible. Humanity doesn't have a plan. Only God has plans. There's only one creator. But what does it say? I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. I am the Lord God and there is no other. I am. Your consciousness heals and makes alive, wounds and heals. It is the thing that is producing what you physically call death or life. Heal, health, or wounding. It is conscious first, expressed second. You can take all the medicine you want. You can put your seatbelt on real tight, lock every door you got. You can do whatever else it is. If you have a concept of poverty, if you have a concept of being harmed, if you are entertaining that in your mind, entertaining it, not having thoughts that go by, but if you are entertaining whatever thought you're entertaining, that whatever company you're keeping, birds of a feather, yeah. Your birds, the thoughts that you're having in your mind that you are entertaining are always physical express. It's a law because you're programming, you're conditioning, you're renewing. The thoughts that you have, the ing, the ing, right, is the verb. That's the part of the sentence. That's what's actually happening. And it's a law. And it's no respecter of persons. Doesn't matter how you grew up, where you grew up, what you are, what you call yourself, it doesn't matter. It's a law. It's not emotional, it's not personal. So that's why I say get rid of positive thinking, get rid of negative thinking, get rid of self-improvement, get rid of that. That's not actually what it is. Keep it simple, keep it straight so you don't emotionalize it. So you don't personalize it and think like, oh, well, no, you're no exception to the law. There's no exemption from the law. Just know the law. You're not a good speeder. You're just a speeder. You're not a nice drunk driver. You're just a drunk driver. You're not no, you just are this thing. You want to add something to it or take something from it, but no one cares about that. It's just what you are. Choose what you are. That is your only freedom. That is your only necessary power. That's what you are, the ability to choose. You are consciousness, and all things are possible to consciousness. You're looking at 8 billion versions of it, like we talked about a week or two ago. Different variations and forms of consciousness. People building rockets, people building the internet, people building jets, people building buildings, people playing sports, people being parents. Everything is possible to consciousness. Everybody who's doing them are conscious. Consciousness is just conscious moving, breathing, living. So you, the physical part of us, the name that we call ourselves, have the ability to select from our infinite ability in consciousness, where all things exist, where all things are possible. Your job is to select which one of those infinite possibilities of being a baseball player, or being a mother, or being a husband, father, wealthy, a business owner, what you have and how you have it. We have to be conscious of that. That is our only freedom. That is our power. That is our power. That's the only power you have in this physical earth suit. is the ability to choose. Choose this day who you serve. Life and death are in the power of the tongue, and those that love it will eat the fruit thereof. According to your faith, according to your choice, be it unto you. Whatever you desire when you pray, believe you have received it and you will. Key word in that sentence, well, not key word, is desire. You don't have to just go for needs. Whatever you desire, whatever you desire. The only condition is believe you have it. That's it. It's not who you know. It's not what you know. It's not where you come from. It's not how long you've been there. It's not what do you want? Believe you have it. That's it. But renewing your mind, programming that thought and conditioning it, keep it going, hard for people to do. It's the hardest thing in the world for people to do. And that's why most people quit. And that's why most people don't get anything. Even though, and so instead what they get, instead of their desire for money, they get to be a police officer, a FedEx worker, and a trainer. And then they'll justify being those things because they got some money. And I'm saying just go straight for the money. Forget the middleman and the wholesale. Go straight to the wholesale. Get your outcome wholesale. Go straight to the manufacturer. Go straight to your consciousness and say, this is what I want to be. And I'm now assuming myself to be it until it becomes physically part of my expression. Period. I don't got to ask nobody for it, talk to nobody about it. This is my choice. This is what I choose. And my agreement is between me and me. So am I going out in the world and be like, hey, you got that $5? I don't have an agreement with you. I don't know you. You and I didn't talk about that. You talked about you wanted to be a millionaire or wealthy or in perfect health. You talked about that with yourself. It's nobody else's job to agree. It's nobody else's job to support that. It's no one else's job to do that. If they do, great. But if they don't, so what? God said, let there be light. There was no vote. There was no democracy. Didn't need nobody's help. Your consciousness, that is what is called God. Your consciousness, you have the ability to be whatever you want. But you have to choose. And you have to know that because of who you are, you declare and decree and it comes to pass. It's not luck, it's a law. All right. What do we have to say about that? What do we have to say about that?
That was so good, Coach Lucky.
Hey, it's my man, Coach Lucky. He's very inspirational. Very, very inspirational. Feel me? Something the mentality.
Cynthia over here saying hallelujah. That was real.
He said mic drop.
So, all right. So what do we get from it? What are we going? So now what? Right? This is you walked into Costco. What now what? Right? You have an opportunity. Now what? The only benefit of being here is what we learn. And now what are we going to do? The only reason to sign up for AAA is a benefit. The only reason signing up for something, the only reason signing up for something is because of the benefit that you get. You have benefits. Are we going to use those benefits? Are we going to realize who we are and start acting like it? I'm all for feeling good. Yeah, but emotions die down. And I want you to be constant like your name. Whether you have a headache or not, whether you have a backache or not, whether you're feeling like $1 million or not, your name is still your name. I want you to apply what you know and understand ruthlessly, relentlessly, without emotion, you got emotion with it, cool. It doesn't matter whether it's good, so-called happy, or bad, so-called sad. It doesn't matter. Do what you know you need to do. Set your mind and keep your mind. It's like you go to work, sometimes your foot is hurting, and you go to work, sometimes you're feeling great. You still go to work. Set your mind, choose your mind. What do you want? Because if you don't know, or you start going to middlemen, then you'll end up working 3 jobs to get the one thing you want instead of just changing your mind and choosing your mind and going straight to what you want. God said, let there be light. There was no payment plan. There was no, there wasn't no pay now, buy now, pay later. There wasn't no layaway plan. There wasn't, well, I need to ask somebody what they think if his light's going to be too bright. There wasn't, you don't need any intermediary. You don't need anybody else's approval for your desire within you, right? If you want, there's cereal in the house, don't eat it all up and everybody else need to eat. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the things that make you, that you want to be for yourself, to do and to have. To be a business owner, to be a happy grandparent, to be a baseball player, to be whatever you want to be in life. All things are possible. Every one of those are possible. And the law says you literally go into your consciousness and say, I choose to be this because I know that I, the body, let's say the body and my consciousness, that which is within me, are one. They're one. So whatever's happening to me physically is happening in here. It's got to be, because we're one. It's got to be happening. They're both happening. But which one happens first? Your consciousness is always first. You're always choosing before you're expressing. You're always experiencing before you're expressing. Your physical world, your expressions, what's going on with you physically, is only an expression of what's going on with you mentally. And the mental is first. It's not positive thinking. It's not gratitude. It's not, there's nothing wrong with those. I'm just telling you, we have to kind of sometimes parse what we're really saying and where it fits. It is just thinking. It's not positive driving. It's not gratitude driving. It's driving. It's thinking. What are you thinking? And whatever you're thinking, you're going to have a physical expression of that. That is the law, period. So you have to be mindful of what you're thinking, of what you're entertaining, because of who you are. Because of who you are. You are, I am. I, you, A means ab or Abba, right? Mem means mother, essentially. Hebrew word for mother, mem, right? And they have also numbers that are associated with it, right? But the point is, your I is the father, mother of your life. The father and mother create an expression. I am, I, your awareness, your consciousness is the father, mother of your physical world. So as Jesus, as Gavin, as Latoya, as Monique, as all of us, your consciousness is the father, mother. It is the creator of your expression. So you need to go up in here and know who your parents are. You better see what's going on up in here. You better see what's going on. And what are you proclaiming yourself to be? What are you assuming and feeling yourself to be? That is being expressed in your name, in your physical world. Your consciousness is the father, mother, is the creator of your physical world. This is not luck. This is not gambling. This is not hoping. This is not praying. This is not wishing. This isn't believing. This isn't maybe today, maybe not tomorrow. Yes, it kind of works, but there's a blackout day. It's Black Friday. Oh, offices are closed, don't you? Oh, there's a holiday, right? Or this is not that. This is the law. Just like electricity, like thermodynamics, like sowing and reaping, like gravity, like the sun coming up and going down, the moon. It's a law. It is the same yesterday, today, and forever. This isn't emotional. This isn't personal. And I really try to emphasize that, because making things personal all the time and emotionalizing them, people don't do that properly. So then they get themselves confused and mixed up. Then they think when they assume themselves to be something and they're not overfilled with joy and crying and tears, that it's not going to happen, or that it's not true, or it's not going to work. Or they go somewhere and sweat for 3 hours, run up and down the aisle, got their good outfit on, their nice shoes and their good purse, and then they come back and 2 days later, they wonder how they feel so bad when 2 days before they felt so good. Because what does it say? What does it say? It says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Anybody remember that? Anybody remember that?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, yes. Go ahead. Read whatever you need to read. Sorry.
Earlier,
Yeah.
before you went on your rant, Cassidy had responded, feeling great, keep going.
Okay.
Karen said, obey the laws and apply. Then she said programming, conditioning, renewing, rinse and repeat.
Mhm.
And then Monique's wig was falling off, and
Okay.
that's it.
So I am the way, the truth, and the life. Who said that?
God.
Who said that specifically? Who said that?
Jesus.
Yes. We said Jesus represents what?
I am.
Yes. But what is it? What does it
God is-
represent? Huh?
God in human form.
Yes. And guess who you are?
God in human form.
There we go. So that means you need to know what that person knew, what this character, what this mind knew. It's saying that when you say your name, you're saying, I am. So when it's not what you know, it's who you know. You know who you need to know. I am is the way for you to be rich, for you to be healthy, for you to be happy, for you to be successful. That's you. I am is the truth. And what does it say? You shall know the truth and what?
It will set you free.
And you will set you free. So if your awareness is the truth, if you say I am the truth, then and your truth sets you free, then why aren't you free? Why aren't you free from poverty? Why aren't you free from bad health? Why aren't you free from poor relationships? Why aren't you free? Why not? Why aren't you free from being what you don't want, where you don't want, how you don't want? It's the life. I am is the life. Your vitamins ain't the life. Wheatgrass ain't the life. Who you know ain't the life. Your phone ain't the life. The sun ain't the life. You're the maker of the sun. You are life itself. Your tarot card readings, numerology, astrology, all that stuff you made to express yourself through it, just like you made a fork. It is not the owner or the governor of you. You are the life. Your consciousness is the way. It is the truth. It is the life. You should be free in your life. You are the way to free your life. You're aware, your I am, not me, not them, not they, not politicians, not Democrats, not the Republicans, not the racists, not the sexists, not the Black Lives Matter, not the White Lives Matter, not the sexism and the feminism, and I live here, and because I'm here. No, your consciousness is the truth. Your consciousness is the life. It is the way. It is the thing to make and that does make everything that you will ever experience. And now you have to decide what you're going to define I am as. What are you going to attach with it? And that is the way you go. That will be the truth you experience and the life you experience. That's you. That mind, this mind, God in flesh, which says what? It's the same. I'm no respecter of persons. The law is no respecter of persons. That's what it said. Let that mind that's in this person be also in you. Think like this. Think like this person. This person says, I and my Father are one. I and consciousness are one. What you as a physical being, as you think yourself to be, and what you're aware of being are one. But what does it say? But my Father is greater than I. That means your consciousness is greater than your physical being. Said, I'm not doing the work. It's my Father in me, my consciousness in me. Your consciousness, your I am, is doing the work. It is expressing what it believes itself to be through your physical body, through your name, through your character. That is your name, your persona. It is expressing what it's believing itself to be. Who chooses what it believes itself to be? Who does that?
Everyone?
What does that mean?
Have the ability to choose who we want to be.
Yes. And guess what? It's not that you do have the ability. Yes, that's true. And that's important to know that you can change. But you're already doing it. Electricity is already happening whether you know it or not. The discovery of electricity is not is not the creation of electricity. It's the discovery. That's different. The discovery of consciousness is not the creation of consciousness. It's already happening whether you are aware of it or not. But our lack of awareness is what causes suffering. Ignorance is the cause of all sin. Sin means mistake. It means error. It means to miss the target. What is the target? The target is you not being what you want. That is a sin. That is an error. Because all things are possible. But in our humanity, because we're limited in our body, we think that, well, you can't be this, well, you can't be that. That's not possible. That's not real. Keep it real. You're just going to keep it as it is. That's all you're doing. But all things are possible. It says all things are possible. They are. Everything that we see that we could ever want to be, we either somebody else has done it or is doing it. So it is possible. And if you're the first one, you couldn't have a desire without it being possible. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a desire. It'd be like making a movie trailer for a movie that doesn't exist. Why would you go through all that trouble making a movie trailer for a movie that doesn't exist? Your desire is like a movie trailer. It's there to impel you to move. If you're so inclined, if you're interested. Right? That's all this is for. Your consciousness is the way to be whatever you want. Your consciousness is the truth. What does it say? I'm not a man that I should lie, nor a son of man that I should repent. I don't have to change my mind. Your consciousness doesn't have to change its mind. It's not incapable or incompetent. It's not inefficient or ineffective. It will give you exactly what you put into it. That's what programming does, doesn't it? That's what conditioning is for, isn't it? That is what renewing is for. To predetermine an outcome. To pre-prepare, to precondition yourself for an outcome. So then when you get the outcome, how was it luck? How was it? God just wanted me to have this. Like, no, you prepared yourself for this, knowing who you are, because you know the law, that I am the way. I am God in flesh, not flesh, in flesh, not flesh, in flesh. Your consciousness is the way, the truth, and the life. So you should be free in every way in your life. If we and as we become not improved, aware, as we realize everything is available. All I got to do is pick. Why do I want to improve a shoe size too small? Why do I want to improve a pocketbook that's not sufficient? Why do I want to improve something that I could just change? What do I want to do that for? God didn't improve the darkness. I said, let there be light. Darkness can stay as it is. Let there be light. They can both remain as they are. It's just you decide which one you want to experience. Poverty is going to remain. If you're poor right now, you're not the only one, and there'll be people coming after you to take your spot, like musical chairs. They'll be taking your spot. Poverty is just a state, just like wealth is just a state. And you can move out from one and into the other, but you only move according to your consciousness, because your consciousness is the way that you move from one state of mind to another. So that character, Jesus, they said, let that mind that's in this person think like this person. They knew that I and my consciousness are the way, the truth, and the life. To be able to walk on water, turn water into wine, heal the sick, heal the lame, do all these different things. You can, all those people, everybody, every character in that book is just an aspect of mind that lies in all of us as beings. That's why it says, let that mind. It didn't say be that person. It said, let that mind. When you're talking to a person, you're talking to a mind. That's really what you're talking to. You're talking to a physical suit that has a collection of thoughts, feelings, and beliefs about itself, and therefore everything and everyone outside of it, relative or in perspective of it. That's why we don't see what is there. We see according to who we are. We don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. Everything is coming from our own perspective. Our perspective is our set of thoughts, feelings, and beliefs about first ourselves. And that's how we see the world. What's possible or impossible, doable or not doable, attainable, achievable or not. That's coming from our own perspective, our own self-perception. Last thing I'll say, that's why there was that story in the book where it said the king told this group of people, hey, I have some land for you. Go on over there and take a look at it. Let me know if you want it. They went over there, crawled up over the hill, and looked. They were like, wow, it's nice. But they said there's giants on the land. So the giants didn't see them. They looked over the hill. The giants didn't see them. So then they crawled back down and said, wow. And they went back to the king, and the king said, hey, what do you guys think? They're like, yeah, we really like the land, but there are giants in the land, and we're but mere grasshoppers in their sight. But how did they say we're but mere grasshoppers in their sight, and the giants didn't see them? What they said about the giants talking about them was really their own self-description. They felt like giants, or they felt like grasshoppers when they saw them. They felt about themselves when they saw someone else, it made them feel a certain way about themselves. You are always feeling, the world is always making you feel or showing you how you feel about yourself. They call their own selves grasshoppers. The giants didn't even see them. Grasshoppers was a self-description in relation to this thing. How you feel about yourself as it relates to your health or your money or the world is self-described. It's how you feel about you and how you feel about you. And then when you relate it to this thing, you may feel like a grasshopper. You may feel like a giant. When that baseball's coming in my head, I feel like a grasshopper. That ball coming too hard, too fast, and there's not enough padding. I quit.
You got to take one for the team.
No, I don't. I quit the team.
It don't work like that in baseball.
I know, that's why I don't play.
My last tournament, I got hit in the face with a baseball. I took one for the team. I took one like an OG.
Not me. I am
a fighter.
I am leaving.
I got an iron jaw. Feel me? Nothing will hurt me. I got this.
That's what hey, and that, you know what? That's what makes you you. That's wonderful. Because for me, I got landed on by 2 7-footers or 300 pounds, and it hurt taking a charge, but a baseball coming is just a different thing. So I see, I got to stay in my lane. You got to know your role.
It's different because it's different. It is a whole different thing in different perspectives. That's all it is.
No, that's true. That's the point. That's exactly right. Right? If I don't have that perspective, there's no way I can do this thing the way you do it. There's just no way. Right? And that's my whole point of, if you don't have the perspective of, hey, I am wealthy, then now you're going to be like me playing baseball. I'm going to be 3 different things trying to get over the fact that I can't go straight here, that I just don't see myself that way. So we're going to constantly be working, so every time I was up to the plate, I didn't even want to hit. I was just hoping I didn't get hit. I had no chance of success, but I didn't realize that then.
And that's the thing. That's the one thing you can't be scared about.
You see what I mean?
Is that you can't be scared about getting hit.
Right. Do you see what I mean? You can't have this thought and produce a different outcome. That's exactly right. That's why I said, you know what? With this thought, there's no way I'm going to win. I can't even enjoy it, much less be successful. But that's exactly correct, Gavin. That's the whole point of life. The principle is the same. You can't have that thought and produce that outcome. With that thought, it produces this outcome. With the thought I had, I quit. With the thought you have, you can go through anything it takes because you have a different thought. That's why I say there's no positive thinking. There's no I'm a good person or I'm a bad person. No, with that thought, it produces this outcome that makes it possible. With this thought, it produces this outcome what makes it impossible. I can't grind enough. I can't work hard enough with that thought. It's never going to be possible. I'm not thinking like you or like a person who thinks it's possible. And that's exactly right. And that's what the whole point of this is that, yes, you can ask God for something and do what you call nothing, but you're not doing nothing. The renewing is something. Keeping your thought the way you think, even though you got hit, that is something. Looking at your account and saying, I am wealthy when it says negative 0.8 cents, 0.08 cents is doing something. Keeping the thought of mind that it takes to produce or experience the desired outcome is something. That is the doing you have to do. Humanity tells you got to work 3 jobs, so he's working them. I told him the other day, I'm like, dude, if you just want this, just assume yourself to be that and let it play itself out. It will do that for you. But since he's unwilling to change his mind, he's got to grind his behind. Since I was unwilling to change my mind, I'm sitting there shivering like it's 2 degrees outside, just in fear. Because I won't change my mind. I'm not willing to think like you. So I can't get what you get. And I'm unable to go through what you go through and still feel strong and feel invincible like you do. That is a thought of mine. And that's the whole point. The principle is the same. You have to be willing to stand, and having done all to stand there anyway. Whether that's at a plate, whether that's at a doctor's office, whether that's at a bank, whether that's looking at your account, whether that's looking in your wallet, whether that's in whatever it is you want, you have to be able to stand on your square. That is the doing. That is the mental equivalent of doing. I am this, even though I can't see it, I can't feel it. My whole world tells me I'm crazy, stupid, weird, strange, and everything else. No, I am wealthy. I am wealthy. I am, and I'm going to hold on to that thought until it produces physically in my world. Even though this ball is coming at my head, even though I got hit, even though I got this bill and it says past due, even though I got $2 left and I need gas for tomorrow, I'm going to stand on the fact that I have what I need. Stand on your square, 10 toes down, just like they say. I don't know if they say that everywhere. I know in LA they say that. We say that, right? Stand there, 10 toes down on your thing. Stand where you are. That is the hardest thing to do. The easiest thing to do is go running to get 3 jobs, to justify yourself, but it's never going to work. It's not going to work like that. You can do it, but it's not going to work like if I just assume I'm wealthy and I let that perfection in me guide me right to it. Guide me right to it. There's a whole bunch of different pitches you can hit. There's a whole bunch of different things. There's a whole bunch of options if you're willing to stand there. There's a whole bunch of options. But if you're unwilling to stand there, don't matter what pitch they throw. If you're unwilling to stand there, doesn't matter what happens to you in life or what is possible. You'll never get the opportunity. You'll never swing. You'll never hit because you're not there to hit. You quit. You got you 3 jobs instead of being able to hold your mind. Say, this is what I am. Right? This is what I am. And I'm not changing it. I'm not changing my mind until or unless I want to. Because I understand the law and I understand the program. If I change this code, it changes the outcome. That is not positive thinking. That's not positive programming. That's just programming. It's not positive driving. It's just driving. Choose this day who you serve. What is your desired outcome? I want to be fit. I want to be lean. I want to be in good health. Okay, this is now what I am. I'm standing up here at the plate. Throw it. I hit it, I swing, you hit me. I'm not moving though. I'm not moving. I'm not moving, period. Until I get what I want. Yes.
And on top of that, once you get hit by a baseball more than like 10 times, you kind of get used to it. Just saying.
No, but it's true. Because you know what it is? You've conditioned yourself. You've conditioned your body. You've conditioned your mind. You've come to grips with this reality of, hey, once I get exposed to something enough times, once I kind of keep my mind, it's really the first 2 or 3 days of a diet, so to speak. It's really the first 2 weeks of conditioning where you're like, oh my God, and you crawling out of there, right? You thought you were in shape, but they ramp it up. It's the first couple, maybe hours of programming when you're starting from the beginning. It's the first 2 or 3 sentences of a new story you're writing. But after a while, you get used to it. You start to fall into a zone. You start to fall into a mode, to a consciousness, to a level of, I know how to handle this. But you always did. But you never see it or you never know it if you're not willing to stand there. Not just walk in, but stand there. Not just have the thought, but stand on the thought. That is the doing. It's not you working. It's not physical. The physical is an expression of your faith. That's all it is. You're not justifying yourself with your work. You've already been working. That ain't helped, right? All right, got a couple minutes. Anything? Want to make sure anybody has anything we want to say. Hopefully, did we get that? Did we understand anything anybody wanted to say or anything like that?
I'm sorry I'm driving, but I feel like I totally get everything you said, and I totally receive it. I still struggle with how do I deal with want and desire and next steps? How hard should I be working? How should I focus myself?
Focus yourself on the end. So you're working for something. What is the thing you want? Right? What do you want? I want to be a millionaire. I want to have a successful business. I want whatever the outcome of what you think you're doing everything for is, that's the end. You're doing it all for this. What is that? Clearly define to yourself what that is. It doesn't matter what it is. You just have to know what it is for yourself clearly. What do I want? I'm dieting to do what? I'm working to do what? I'm parenting to do what? Right? That's why it says my people perish for a lack of vision. The vision is your desired outcome. What do you want that to be? Whatever you want that to be, assume it's so and stand in that assumption. The longer you stay in a place physically, you go from a visitor to a resident. The longer you stay in that place physically, you go from someone who is a temp worker to a permanent worker. Your benefits change, your level of benefit, right? So when you stay in the end, when you say, okay, I'm doing all this to get that, okay, whatever that is, I now have that, or I now am that, or that's the way it's going for me. I'm going to stand here in my mind. I'm still going to go to work. I'm still going to do whatever else I was doing. But what happens is when you stay in the end consciously in your mind, when you stay in that assumption, it's going to start to influence your behaviors. You're going to start to see things. Things are going to start to change in your world. Not that they weren't there. You just can't see them. Not that they didn't exist. They just didn't exist to you. If you drive down the street and somebody's in the bathroom with the light on, but you can't see it, isn't the light still on? But you just can't see it. You're not aware of it. If you walked in that house and walked up the stairs, you would see the light, but you can't see the light from where you are. The state of mind you're in is dark. You have to move to the state of mind that has the light. And how do you do that? I'm not this anymore. I'm now this. Now I will see that light that already exists. My pupils dilate. I become aware of it. Right? I become aware of being because I see. But my sight, it was first vision. Vision produces sight, not the other way around. You see through your windshield, not the other way around. You see through your eyes, not the other way around. So what do I want to be? What do I want to have? What do I want to do? Live in the end. Go to the end of this is what I'm doing all this for. And assume that whatever the outcome you desire is, that is what you are. And then that will start to inspire and influence your behaviors, your thoughts, your actions. It will start to make you a different resident of a different state, so to speak. Right? Like when you move from Toronto back to Florida, after a while, your driver's license changes, your everything in your world changes. The weather, right? Your zip code, your address, everything changes because you move to a state. You don't create the state, you move to the state. You move to where your outcome, your desired end is, and everything already exists. The weather in Florida exists. You didn't bring the sun or the alligators, right? It already exists. So you move to where it already exists and you stay there. And the longer you stay in Florida, you get the summer, you get the winter, you get the alligators, you get the bugs, you get the hurricanes, you get everything that state has to offer. You don't have to create anything. It's already there. You just go to where it already is. Right? Did that answer your question?
Completely, wholly, and I can't wait to re-listen to this on the replay. 100%. Thank you.
This is what I mean by doing. You can't ask for God for something you do and do nothing. This is the doing that's hard for everyone. Is to sit in a state and say, I am this, period. I am this, period. Yes, Latoya.
Oh, mute button almost won. So I've actually experienced my affirmations coming to fruition in real life this week. And it took me a moment and then I reaffirmed it. So went through the drive-through and the lady knew my name and I was like, do you know my name because of my order? And she was like, no, I just know your name. So when I drove off, like it just kind of like, so when I drove off, I was like, you know what? I'm famous. Of course they know my name. Mm-hmm. And then I sat with that. And then my daughter had her band concert this week I didn't have any cash on me to purchase something. I wanted to pay with my card. And they're like, well, what do you guys want? And they gave it to us for free. So I was like, well, I always receive gifts because in abundance, because people love me. People love giving me gifts. Mm-hmm. Of course, yesterday we went to a restaurant opening. The dinner was free, but we got extras because people love giving me an abundance of gifts.
Mm-hmm. 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 Absolutely. And that's the point, right? Is when you start programming your mind and you condition that programming constantly, you're going to see it come into your world so naturally. You're going to think it would just happen. You're going to think like, because you're going to think it just would have happened anyway, or it's going to come so easily and so it seemed like nonchalantly, you won't even realize you got what you asked for. Maybe a minute, maybe an hour or 2 days, but you're like, wait a minute, that's what I wanted. I didn't realize, but it came differently than you thought it would. It came faster than you thought it would, but it did come, right? So when you're programming your mind by choosing your thoughts, right? And then you are renewing your mind by changing the thought. This is a thought I want to have. I'm going to put this program in. I'm going to condition it. I'm going to say it over and over to myself, not because it makes it more true. It just makes me more familiar with it, right? And you're going to see it more and more and more increasingly in your life, right? And so that is the important. That's why what you're saying to yourself all the time, talking to yourself, what you're listening to, that is your internal speech that you're going to physically have an interaction with. Yes, Sparkle Bailey.
I just want to wrap it up, Coach Lucky, because what Latoya said kind of struck me, and what you're saying also made it stand out to me. And I'm glad my children can hear this. In the 10th grade, I decided I was going to be a happy, healthy housewife. I just declared it. I knew that I wanted to be that type of support system to my partner, my future partner. And I declared that the housewife avenue was the best avenue for me. That was the avenue that I knew I could grow and blossom. And when I got married, I decided to be whatever my partner needed. It went against my goals. It went against my purpose. And then I started having seizures. That's when the seizures started. I wasn't born with seizures or anything like that. I was out of my purpose. I went completely off track trying to please my partner and not please my life's purpose. My life's purpose is to support others. That is what I'm here to do. I'm happy to support others. I win when I support people who deserve my support, people who have earned that trust and that support from me. My life thrives. I can never lose. But when I fall off track, negative things happen. And so I started programming my mind to understand, Sparkle Bailey, you're having seizures because you're off track, not because you deserve to have seizures or not because this is your life's destiny to stay in this space. You're off track. And so realistically, the more that I focus on my life's purpose, the less I have seizures. They don't happen. But every single time I want to please an entity or a person outside of my purpose, or I want to, promote this housewife goal for myself, but I'm doing it in the wrong spaces, that's when the seizures happen. When I'm trying to over impress, or when I invest too much into, I'm invested too much into other people's thoughts of me when they don't know me the way I know me. So I just wanted to share that, because when I pour into me properly, the seizures don't happen. But the moment I'm seeking approval from places where I'm probably not even supposed to be, this was a temporary relationship or a temporary interaction, that's when the seizures start, when I start overextending myself. So I just wanted to share that. Monique, I see your comment, and that's definitely true. My body starts glitching literally when I'm out of my purpose. So I just wanted to share that.
Awesome. Before I respond, anything anybody else wanted to say before I respond? As far as just for their own today and things like that.
I have something to share after you're done.
Okay, you go ahead.
No, you go first.
Okay, so the reason we try to make everybody do something for us, or we try to enforce ourselves or impose ourselves on others, is because we feel like that is the way to get what we want. And if we don't control someone else, whether it's what they're thinking or what they're doing, or to get their permission or their sign off or anything else, that we won't become what we want. And so what's happening is, like that character said, with man, it's impossible. And so what happens is we're using the wrong mechanism to try to get a desired outcome. And with our consciousness, all things are possible. Whatever we could ever want, We're only trying to make somebody do something because if they do this, then we can get what we want. If we use our consciousness to establish and to assume that we are what we want, then our consciousness, God, so to speak, will find the best and most effective and efficient ways in order to do that. That's why that consciousness said, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. For humanity, ain't nothing light or nothing easy. We talking about grinding, and it said, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. The reason we try to control others or impose ourselves or enforce ourselves, our desires, our wills, our likes, our dislikes on other people is because we feel like we have to control them in order to get what we want, right? That's what it all boils down to, no matter what we're doing it for or how we're doing it or what we're doing, what it is we're doing, it's for that. And so when we realize that our consciousness is the only savior, it's the only God, it's the only creator, it's the only place where all things are possible, then we realize that all we have to do is be self-convinced. All we have to do is decide that I am this thing and stay in that on your square with your 10 toes down and say, I am going to stay as a happy housewife, or I'm going to stay as a great mother, or I'm going to stay as a wonderful business owner, or I'm going to stay as a whatever else is. I have now decided that I've declared and decreed this is what I am, and I'm going to stay here. As I stay here, I will start to see that in my world because I only see what I'm conscious of being. That's all I'll ever see is what I'm conscious of being. So when I choose, I get to choose what that is. I only see what I'm conscious of being, but I get to choose what I'm conscious of being. So my physical world only sees what I'm conscious of being, but my physical world gets to choose what that is. It doesn't get to choose how it comes, and it doesn't get to choose what happens, but it does get to choose what it is. So how it comes and how it happens, those ways and means are attached to my consciousness, but the outcome is attached to my humanity, so to speak. Right. So all we have to do is choose what we want and stay in that choice and that consciousness by assuming we are that or have that or do that. And you will see that be in your world. Go ahead, Veronica.
I have to switch audios to do this. Bear with me.
Thank you, Coach Lucky.
You're welcome.
Thank you. My children appreciate you. There are certain people I will not invite into this space because they're not ready to own their own authority. But I was taught on Saturdays, you spend your Saturdays in developing self. As a child, we developed ourselves on Saturdays. So even though my family was kind of funny style with certain traditions, one of those traditions that I took away from my childhood, I wanted to pass down to my children. And I'm honored that they're here. I'm honored that they're here with you and with this community because they get to pour into themselves and remember their value and their strength. So I just want to thank you. I can't thank you enough. Thank you.
It's my honor and pleasure. And like it says in the book, when you train a child up in the way they should go, when they get old, they won't depart from it. But if you put it in early, right, then it's gonna be there and it's gonna come out, especially when the world comes. It's gonna come out, right? When you squeeze that apple's an apple, but when you squeeze it, you get juice. Right. So you want to make sure there's juice in there and you want to make sure it's the fruit you desire it to be. And so when you are programming your children, just like you're programming yourself by putting in information that is going to lead to your desired outcome, then you already know what you're going to get. You've already predetermined your future. Like Joe Dispenza said, you've already predetermined your future because you know what you put in. So you know what you're going to get out. Gavin, yes, sir.
I just want to tell you, thank you for everything you said. This has probably been my favorite meeting so far. But I just want to say thank you, and I feel like this is getting me in the right headspace for my upcoming combine. I just want to say thank you.
Yes, sir. Man, it's my honor and pleasure, and I assume your success. I assume your greatest success. Yes, sir.
Okay, I need to hijack the call. Everyone, give me a second because I have to mute him to switch my sound. Give me a second, please. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
give me a second. Give me a second. Here we go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Coach Lucky, I am so blessed to wish you a happy birthday. This is Karen, East Coast to West Coast. I am so blessed to benefit from your mind expansion seminars and your wisdom and wit, and most of all, your inspiration. I do hope you have a wonderful birthday and look forward to seeing you soon. Happy birthday again. You deserve all the blessings that are in store for you.
For the beautiful impact you've had on my life and my children's lives, I want to say happy birthday. I want to say thank you, and I want to send you as much love as you can handle because you deserve it. Happiest, happiest, happiest birthday. Peace, Coach Lucky.
What's going on, Coach Lucky? It is the Talbot family here stopping by to show you some birthday love.
Hey, Coach Lucky, happy birthday.
We know that you teach us that if we can think better, we can live better. Grateful for you and thankful for you. We wanted to post up and say happy birthday. Jeremiah wanted to say happy Lucky.
Happy birthday, Coach Lucky.
Seriously, Coach Lucky, we appreciate everything you do, everything you're imparting into us. Many more blessings to come, many more birthdays to come. You seriously impacted me and Cynthia's life, our marriage, our business. You have gave her the name Real Estate Educator, and you know, it's just been an amazing journey, and we can't wait for 2024 and all the great things to come. And
We pray you enjoy your day and you receive your heart's desires. And thank you again for everything.
yeah, we love you, man. We appreciate Vero for making this happen all the time, every time. And Coach Lucky, many blessings to you. More to come. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's grow, y'all.
What's up, Lucky?
Hi, Lucky.
Happy birthday, my big dog.
Very happy big birthday. Hope you have an amazing time.
Yes, sir. Peace
Happy
out.
birthday.
Happy birthday, Coach Lucky. Thank you for all that you do.
Happiest birthday, Coach Lucky. I'm so excited. I hope you had a fantastic day because I understand your birthday was on Monday. I just want you to know you are a major influence in my life and the lives of many others. And I hope you just keep going and going and going and going. And please continue to put up with us and help us along our journey. And I'm so excited to have met you, so excited to know you, so excited to spend time with you. And I hope you had the best birthday ever. See you Saturday.
Coach Lucky, what can I say? This world has a couple of cool people in it, but not too many. I'm glad to say that I do know one of them. You are a blessing, man. I just want to let you know what you bring, the value that you bring to the people around you, the testament to living that you are. Glad to say that I know you. I'm glad to know that you're such a good man. And I got what are you say? Happy birthday, Coach Lucky.
Happy birthday, Coach Lucky.
You're an inspiration, brother. Just want to let you know that. Happy birthday, and I hope it was everything that you needed and wanted, and that you continue to have many more, and that you grow and help other people to grow. Just there's so many things I can say, but I'm trying to keep this short. I'm a little frazzled right now with this thing. I love you, bro. Keep on doing what you're doing.
Hey, Coach Lucky, happy birthday. It's Cassidy. I just wanted to thank you so much for blessing us with your time every Saturday.
Just want to say happy birthday to Coach Lucky. Thank you for all the morning talks you've been giving, and I really do appreciate it. It's been helping my mentality and me becoming a better person overall. So I just want to say happy birthday and thank you very much, and hope you have a great birthday, man. See you later.
Coach Lucky, my guy. Motivator, man. Happy birthday, my guy.
Happy birthday, Uncle Elvis.
Happy birthday, Elvis. Much love and respect, brother. Have a good one. Bye.
Eat Happy birthday. It's your birthday, Coach. But in all seriousness, happy birthday, Coach Lucky. And I just wanted to share that in such a short period of time, I have learned so much from you. And coming to class every Saturday, you have just being the vessel that you are. You have given me so much confidence in your teaching, so much confidence in myself, in the way I show up, in who I am, because of who you are and the way that you show up. And for that, I just wanted to say thank you and just express so much gratitude. And again, happy birthday. I love you. Enjoy your weekend.
Happy birthday, Lucky. It's from your parents. If you look behind us, here's your pictures, your grandfather, Marcus, Zoe at the bottom, and your grandmother at the top, the matriarch. She's December 20th, you're December 4th. She'll be 90. Happy birthday. We could not have a better son. She named you Lucky, and it has stuck throughout your life because your life has been a blessing to all of us. Happy 48th birthday.
Cheer. To my big brother, Big Lucky. Hey, happy birthday, man. Happy birthday. Let me just say, although we talk every day, all day, I don't take it for granted at all. I'm so glad that the great architect of the universe continues to bless you with good health, so you can continue to be a blessing and use your talent, skills, and ability to share with the world. Man, every time that you get older, I know that I'm getting older, but you're getting older first. So anyway, man, I love you very much. Shoot, not only you my brother, but my mentor and confidant, and the one that has assisted me in getting to every great destination that I've tried to accomplish thus far. So happy birthday, man. Happy birthday. And as you know, we will circle back, as you say. Circle back. All right. Peace.
Hi, this is Champ. Happy birthday, Uncle Lucky. I hope you have a good birthday, and we are looking forward to see you.
What's up, bro? Just wanted to say happy birthday again, and hope you enjoyed it. You already know what it is between us. Much love and respect, and again, I always thank you for being a positive role model in my life and being a source of inspiration for all the things that you accomplished and all the things that you've done exceptionally well. And I always think about those memories together, and going up to see you and going to Stanford and all those places and doing all those fun things and just being able to be close to you and learn from you. So appreciate you always. Like I said, much love and respect, and thank you for everything. Like I said, that you've been in my life. Can't thank you enough. Much love. Peace.
Happy birthday, Uncle Lucky. This is Mackenzie. I hope you have a great birthday and look forward to seeing you soon.
All right. So that was that. I didn't get a chance to record myself, but happy birthday, mi amor. And thank you everyone who was a part of recording this. I'll send it on the replay if you guys want to watch it over. But yes.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, Veronica. Just brought such great tears of joy and respect. Lucky, you are an incredible man. I couldn't be prouder of you. This is your mom, and I love you. Thank you.
I know that. Well, you guys have succeeded in shutting me up. I don't know what to say. I can only say thank you all. I really appreciate that. That's the best birthday gift I could get, and I really appreciate you all. Thank you for taking the time I didn't know anything about this one, so I guess you guys all got me on that. Guess you guys are thinking pretty good. You're gonna trick me now. I gotta slow this down. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart, I don't know what to say except thank you all. Thank you for taking the time, for caring enough. It's so special. I don't really know what to say except seriously, thank you all. Thank you so much. I love and enjoy and appreciate and respect you all every Saturday. I'm always so happy to be here with you all, to get to increasingly know you all, to see you all growing outside of me and to see myself growing with you, right? We're all growing together, but to see you all every weekend, to see your names pop up on the screen, to see your faces when you ask questions, to see you guys every week is, dude, it's super cool, super cool. So thank you all so much for participating, for being a part of my life as much as I am yours. Seriously, I do look forward to talking to you. I look forward to arguing with Gavin every 3 weeks or so. Look forward to,
Yes, sir.
I look forward to all of our real life interactions. I look forward to all of us, really having real life interactions and really realizing who we are to win, right? We came here to win. We came here as winners and just remembering that. So I just want to keep going. It would be 9:30, 10 o'clock or 12, some of your time.
Thank
So
Vero. Thank Vero. She did.
Yes.
She pulled this off. She pulled this whole thing
She
off.
did.
I'm not let her get her flowers. She pulled this
This is
whole thing off.
underhanded for sure. I didn't see this one coming at all. Man, they put some cameras around here. So seriously, thank you, Vanessa. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome, puppy.
And but thank you all. So I don't want to take up too much of your time, but thank you all. Thank you for coming today. It was another wonderful Saturday. Put it together. Put it together. Put it out there. Prove it. Live it. You'll prove it. You'll see that you are so much more than you think, and you can have everything that you think. And you already have it. It's just your awareness. Shift your awareness to already being, to already having, already doing, and you'll see. So thank you all. I really do love and appreciate you all. You have a wonderful day. Thank you so much again. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you all
See you
next
guys
week.
next week.
Thank you all. Bye. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Coach
Great
Lucky, man.
weekend. We love you, Coach.
It's ready.
Happy birthday, Coach Lucky. I was in my
Thanks.
training when they played my video, but I hope you enjoyed it. From me and Cynthia, man. We love you and appreciate you.
And Jeremiah, man, tell him I said thank you.
And Jeremiah, of course.
right.
He made
Yes.
the whole video.
He
But
did.
we appreciate you, man.
He's a star, man.
Enjoy
He's a
your day.
star.
Oh man. I'm speaking it over him. You know what I'm
That's it.
saying? For sure.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
Thank you.
y'all. See y'all next
Appreciate
Saturday. Peace.
Have a good one. See you next week.
Bye, guys.
See you guys next week.